Have you ever felt like drowning in self-doubt, unsure of your purpose, and longing for a sense of fulfillment? You're not alone. Men and women struggle to find their voice, balance their passions, and rise above the noise of society's expectations. But what if you could break the passions and rise above the noise of society's expectations? But what if you could break free from the shackles of limitation and unlock your true potential? To the Radiant Women Growth Network, a vibrant global community empowering women to unleash their full potential. Our mission is to inspire and equip women to rise above limitations, fulfill their purpose, and make a positive impact. In this supportive and inclusive space, women from diverse backgrounds connect, share experiences, and learn from each other. Whether seeking personal growth, work-life balance, or navigating life transitions, our community offers inspiring teachers and guardians in self-discovery, leadership, and empowerment, meaningful connections and supportive relationships, personal growth resources, webinars, workshops, and online courses, opportunities for collaboration and networking, and a safe space for vulnerability and feedback. Gather values of love, inclusiveness, godliness, growth, honesty, and teamwork. We foster a culture of respect, empathy, and encouragement. Join us today and shine with purpose and passion. Let's rise together and make a difference. Have you ever felt like drowning in self-doubt, unsure of your purpose, and longing for a sense of fulfillment? You're not alone. Men and women struggle to find their voice, balance their passions, and rise above the noise of society's expectations. But what if you could break free from the shackles of limitation and unlock your true potential? Welcome to the Radiant Women Growth Network, a vibrant global community empowering women to unleash their full potential. Our mission is to inspire and equip women to rise above limitations, fulfill their purpose, and make a positive impact. In this supportive and inclusive space, women from diverse backgrounds connect, share experiences, and learn from each other. Whether seeking personal growth, work-life balance, or navigating life transitions, our community offers inspiring teachers and guardians in self-discovery, leadership, and empowerment, meaningful connections and supportive relationships, personal growth resources, webinars, workshops, and online courses, opportunities for collaboration and networking, and a safe space for vulnerability and feedback. Gather values of love, inclusiveness, godliness, growth, honesty, and teamwork. We foster a culture of respect, empathy, and encouragement. Join us today and shine with purpose and passion. Let's rise together and make a difference. Have you ever felt like drowning in self-doubt, unsure of your purpose, and longing for a sense of fulfillment? You're not alone. Men and women struggle to find their voice, balance their passions, and rise above the noise of society's expectations. But what if you could break free from the shackles of limitation and unlock your true potential? Welcome to the Radiant Women Growth Network, a vibrant global community empowering women to unleash their full potential. Our mission is to inspire and equip women to rise above limitations, fulfill their purpose, and make a positive impact. In this supportive and inclusive space, women from diverse backgrounds connect, share experiences, and learn from each other. Whether seeking personal growth, work-life balance, or navigating life transitions, our community offers inspiring teachers and guardians in self-discovery, leadership, and empowerment, meaningful connections and supportive relationships, personal growth resources, webinars, workshops, and online courses, opportunities for collaboration and networking, and a safe space for vulnerability and feedback. Gather values of love, inclusiveness, godliness, growth, honesty, and teamwork. We foster a culture of respect, empathy, and encouragement. Join us today and shine with purpose and passion. Let's rise together and make a difference. Have you ever felt like drowning in self-doubt, unsure of your purpose, and longing for a sense of fulfillment? You're not alone. Men and women struggle to find their voice, balance their passions, and rise above the noise of society's expectations. But what if you could break free from the shackles of limitation and unlock your true potential? Welcome to the Radiant Women Growth Network, a vibrant global community empowering women to unleash their full potential. Our mission is to inspire and equip women to rise above limitations, fulfill their purpose, and make a positive impact. In this supportive and inclusive space, women from diverse backgrounds connect, share experiences, and learn from each other. Whether seeking personal growth, work-life balance, or navigating life transitions, our community offers inspiring teachers and guardians in self-discovery, leadership, and empowerment, meaningful connections and supportive relationships, personal growth resources, webinars, workshops, and online courses, opportunities for collaboration and networking, and a safe space for vulnerability and feedback. Guided by values of love, inclusiveness, godliness, growth, honesty, and teamwork, we foster a culture of respect, empathy, and encouragement. Join us today and shine with purpose and passion. Let's rise together and make a difference. Have you ever felt like drowning in self-doubt, unsure of your purpose, and longing for a sense of fulfillment? You're not alone. Men and women struggle to find their voice, balance their passions, and rise above the noise of society's expectations. But what if you could break free from the shackles of limitation and unlock your true potential? Welcome to the Radiant Women Growth Network, a vibrant global community empowering women to unleash their full potential. Our mission is to inspire and equip women to rise above limitations, fulfill their purpose, and make a positive impact. In this supportive and inclusive space, women from diverse backgrounds connect, share experiences, and learn from each other. Whether seeking personal growth, work-life balance, or navigating life transitions, our community offers inspiring teachers and guardians in self-discovery, leadership, and empowerment, meaningful connections and supportive relationships, personal growth resources, webinars, workshops, and online courses, opportunities for collaboration and networking, and a safe space for vulnerability and feedback. Guided by values of love, inclusiveness, godliness, growth, honesty, and teamwork, we foster a culture of respect, empathy, and encouragement. Join us today and shine with purpose and passion. Let's rise together and make a difference.
In the quiet of dawn, where dreams take flight, a sisterhood emerges, bathed in radiant light. From six to countless, we gather as one, igniting purpose. Our journey just begun. We're the Radiant Women Growth Network, daughters of courage, architects of grace. Guided by wisdom, we find our sacred space, shining with purpose and passion, forever aligned. Conversational fireside chats, laughter in the air, honesty our currency, vulnerability laid bare, encouraging each other, celebrating the climb. We're woven by Warriors of courage, architects of grace.
It is our pleasure hosted by Chinweman Essien. Chinweman Essien is a women's empowerment and life purpose mentor. She has a strong passion for guiding women to self-discovery, clear purpose and fulfillment. She relies on empathy, confidence and optimism as her core strength. She derives a great sense of fulfillment, connecting with people and creating frameworks of increased personal growth and success in life. She loves to teach and share knowledge that prepares women towards their life's vision. She is driven by a purpose to help women overcome their limitations and emerge into the best versions of themselves. She is a compelling inspirational speaker and the founder of the Radiant Women Growth Network, the sisterhood community.
None of these aspects, physical, social, mental, emotional, spiritual, none of it is more important than the others.
welcome you to today's event, hosted by Chinweman Essien. Chinweman Essien is a women's empowerment and life purpose mentor. She has a strong passion for guiding women to self-discovery, clear purpose, and fulfillment. She relies on empathy, confidence, and optimism as her core strength. She derives a great sense of fulfillment, connecting with people and creating frameworks of increased personal growth and success in life. She loves to teach and share knowledge that propels women towards their life's vision. She is driven by a purpose to help women overcome their limitations and emerge into the best versions of themselves. She is a compelling inspirational speaker and the founder of the Radiant Women Growth Network, a sisterhood community of like-minded women who personal and communal growth with the goal of making positive impact in the world. She is the author of 2 life-transforming books, Cultivating Healthy Friendship for Women and Women Emerge. Professionally, she currently practices as a clinical nurse, specialist in Parkinson's disease and movement disorders with the NHS in England. She's
Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on wherever you're joining us from. I can already see the fire emojis buzzing in the chat room. Who is ready to emerge? The time we have long awaited for is here. It is now. And I want to first of all apologize to everyone watching that we are sorry for the delay. And we tried as much as possible to start as early as we can, but we are here, we are live. So let's dive straight into it. It's such an honor, it's such a privilege to be the vessel that God has chosen at this point in time to shine her light. And I'm not doing this alone. Of course, as you must have seen on the flyers, I'm doing it alongside other great women. And together, we want to make sure that we use this conference to help you move from a place of obscurity to a place where you will find clarity, to help you move from a place of brokenness to a place of healing, move from a place where you are doubting yourself to a place of self-assuredness. And that is what this conference will be delivering to you. And it's my earnest desire that God would use us mightily to bless you, so that at the end of this conference, you will be able to say, just like I did about a year ago, I attended the conference myself, a virtual conference like this, and it was in that conference that God gave me my word. And that single word was light, and it is still light. And that word jumped at me so much from that conference that I couldn't rest. I mean, light is a common word, isn't it? It is a word that we are all used to. But for some reason at that conference, that word was just jumping in my face. I did not know why. But yes, I pray that somebody would know why a particular word jumps at them. And this is what happened to me when I attended that conference. And today, 1 year ago, I can say to you that I have truly emerged. And in a way to give back, this is what I want to do to help other women also emerge into the highest versions of themselves so they can begin to fulfill God's purpose for their lives. My desire is that every woman will discover herself, embrace her true identity, and be the woman that God has originally designed her to be. So in a way of welcoming you to this conference, I will just run briefly through what I have tagged the woman created to radiate. Everywhere you see God talking about radiate, it is to give him glory. That is one thing I want you to take away from today's meeting. The purpose of your radiance is not for you to keep the lights to yourself. It's not for you to keep your light under your bushel. It is for you to shine this light out for the world to see. It is for you to make use of this light to solve problems in the world. And I strongly believe that at the end of this conference, you will truly say for sure that you have emerged and ready to radiate to the glory of God. So historically, I try to dig a little bit about how women have been. What is it about women? But I realized that historically, there has been some societal norms that has dictated to women how they should live their lives. And this has happened for many centuries now. It has defined women in a way that it believes women should be relegated to domestication, to domesticity of life. We should be either in the labor room or in the kitchen or at home. But what we should be fulfilling in these areas were not truly defined. So this kind of societal pre-written expectations of women has limited women in so many ways over the years. It has limited women in so many ways. And it is not just, limited to a particular country. It is a global issue all over the world. You can find it in social spaces, in institutions. You can find it even in cultural stereotypes and different roles that the society has recommended for women. Even in this time and age, the society is defining beauty for women as well, making women think that, all there is to them is have a baby, have your glam, be beautiful, and just be, it's not the radiance we're talking about. It's not the outward glow. It is not the makeup. It is not the wigs. It is not the glitter. It is not the glamour that you see on the outside. We're talking about that light that you carry on your inside, that inner beauty, that inner strength that helps you step into a room and your presence is commanding change and your presence is inspiring people. That is what we're talking about. The radiance, the inner beauty that you can apply to every area of your life, and the glory of God will be seen. Now, I touched a bit about history, this whole thing in history continued until the 19th and 20th century, when some women began to feel uncomfortable and they realized, oh no, there's so much more to us. We have capacity. We have strength. There are things we can actually do to make the world a better place. And these women were the ones who began to fight for change, who began to, start up movements to make their voices heard. And that's why the narrative is different today for us as women. Women are beginning to occupy spaces that men will normally occupy. And it's not the thing of, fighting for, no, there's nothing to fight about, because the God who created men also created women. And he says, man and woman he made in his own image and in his likeness. So there's nothing to actually compare each other for. No, we're meant to complement each other. We're meant to use our strengths as men and women to make this world a better place for all of us. Now, even after all that has happened, there has been liberation and the fight for everything. Women are now being seen and heard. I am well aware that there is a number of women out there, quite a good number of them, who are still hiding, who still have not discovered their identity. They have still not uncovered their purpose and their power as originally designed by their maker. I am well aware of that because I have been there. This is a journey that I have walked. If you've watched my story a little bit about that is on this YouTube channel, you would see where I've shared a little bit. There's so much more, about me. Now, while I'm aware of this, what is the solution? A lot of women have had various negative childhood experiences. Some are not just, haven't even healed from the childhood experiences. They are now even in adulthood facing so many challenges. Women wear a lot of hats. And every day there is so much demand placed on us to be this, to be that. And everyone is expecting perfection from us. And a lot of women, in the bid to meet all of these demands, do what? Lose themselves. They tend to lose themselves. And this is why you find some women in their 70s, in their 80s, they are not happy that they have truly lived. Yes, they might have children, they might be married, but there's always this vacuum of something that they should have fulfilled to truly make them happy. And I have discovered that thing, and this is what I do, helping other women to discover their purpose here on earth, so that by the time they're leaving this world, the world will know that they will be. And I believe that at the end of this conference, you will discover that thing that you're here for, because you're not a biological accident. You're not here by mistake. There is a purpose why God has created you. There is a light on your inside that other people are waiting on for you to shine that light on their path so that they can see. That is what happened to me. Some women who have gone ahead of me shined their light on my path. And as I've seen light, I want you also to see light and to glow in that light. I want you to flourish in that light. I want you to blossom in that light. Now, everything I do at the Radiant Women Growth Network is underpinned on the scripture. I'm a Christian. This does not mean what we're doing is religious, but it just simply means that I am aware that I have a source. I'm not operating on my own. There is a source that I'm connected to. And the words that my source gave me is from the Holy Book that I read. It's in Isaiah chapter 60 from verse 1 to 5, where it says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon you." And that is the word. When the lights came to me, that was the word that I was given. And that is on the mandate. That is on the mandate on which the Radiant Women Growth Network operates today. And where that word radiant came is verse 5, because time will not permit me to read that entire piece of scripture. But if you're a Christian, you can look that up. If you're not a Christian, just see this as one of the principles of life that you can apply to your life. And verse 5 says, "Then you shall see and become radiant." I'm reading from my Bible. "And your heart shall swell with joy." And my prayer today is that your heart will swell with joy at the end of this conference, because the abundance of the sea shall come to you. It shall be turned to you. The wealth of the Gentiles shall come to you. This is what happens when you catch light. This is what happens when you recognize the light that you carry. Begin to allow that light shine. Because when you shine your light, you unconsciously allow other people to do the same. Now, I will quickly share with you something that I have tagged, when we talk about radiance, I've said before, we're not talking about the outward radiance. Now, that confidence that the woman displays, that grace, that aura of positivity, that persona of greatness that inspires other people to believe that they can be more. That is the radiance that we're talking about. That is the radiance that I'm speaking about this evening. It is about you embodying your feminine traits, your inner kindness for yourself and for others. It is about you gracefully carrying yourself with poise wherever you go, with such elegance. That is the radiance that I am talking about. And I know that at the end of the day, any woman who wants to truly excel in every facet of her life will embrace nothing else than this radiance. You will embrace your uniqueness. You will embrace your imperfections. You will embrace your soft sides. You will embrace everything about you. It's not about what people say about you. It's not about other people's opinions. It's not about other people's ideas. But you have to begin to look at yourself through the clear lenses of God, rather than looking at yourself through the broken and blood lenses of other people. That is what we are talking about today. Dear woman, dear radiant being, let me remind you that you're divinely endowed with radiance. There is light on your inside. And this conference seeks to help you discover that light. I would simply talk about radiance in 8 letters. So R is for resilience. And that is one character. That is one thing that will help you to continue to radiate. Life will throw so many things at you. Life will come out to you, throw lemons at you. Even before the beginning of this conference, we had a bit of glitches, but I have learned over time to rise above them. Because usually before a breakthrough, there is always a storm. And that is the point where you want to give up. But resilience teaches you not to give up. It is that thing, that staying power that holds you when you're at the verge of quitting. And that is one thing you must embrace at this conference. So I hope you're ready. The question will be, the speakers are all ready. Are you ready? Are you truly ready? Because what I say to people, when you attend an event, you can attend it casually and, just say, oh, it's one of all those motivational or inspirational speakers. But no, the words you're going to be hearing from this conference are not mere words. They are words that if you apply to your life, they will move you. They will cause a paradigm shift to happen in your mindset. They will help you. They will illuminate your path much more than any other thing has ever done. I've talked about resilience. That is one attitude you must come to this conference. All right? So I would move to the next one because there will always be setbacks. I had my own fair share of setbacks, but resilience teaches you to bounce back. Not just bouncing back, but when you bounce back stronger and wiser. So this is our ability for you to adapt even when the tides changes. Yes, things have changed, but yes, I will continue to move forward. I will learn the lessons from these experiences. I will embrace the failures. I will embrace my mistakes, learn the lessons from them, but never, ever get stuck there. So the next letter will be letter A, and that stands for awareness. So the knowledge and perception that you have about yourself, your identity, your sense of purpose. What do you know about yourself before today? At this conference, we will unravel more so that you can begin to truly understand that you were created for radiance. How do you understand? How aware are you of the potentials that you carry? How aware are you of the seed of greatness that you're endowed with by your Creator? The world needs that light that you carry. And you need to get to that point where you get a clear vision of yourself and you can become a difference maker in the world. The next letter will be D, and that stands for diligence. If you want to truly emerge, this word should be one character that you embody. And this word diligence. Diligence is derived from a Latin word called diligere. And it says to highly value, to be of high value. But most times that's, in the Greek, in the Latin word, yeah? But most times it is used in English context to mean how much more one puts in effort to things, how much you are determined. And this must be a core character trait of any woman who truly wants to be married. Whatever your hand finds to do at this conference, make sure you attend this conference with intentionality and with diligence. Make the most of it, because that little thing that you see today, everything big that you see starts from the small place. Everything great that you see has a story behind it. And sometimes people don't see the story. Sometimes people don't know the story. They just, see the outcome. They just see the end result. But I tell you, there is a story, and it has taken someone who is diligent to truly come out great. So diligence helps you push through obstacles, because they will always be in your way to stop you. There will always be obstacles in your way to stop you. Even for this conference, I know that some people will experience some level of obstacles to be here. But if you're here, you made it here, that is an absolute sign that you are prepared to really, really emerge. Okay? So diligence talks about, if you see someone who is diligent, have you seen a man who is diligent in his business? What did the good book say? He will stand before kings and not men. And that is in the book of Proverbs. That's the book of Wisdom, chapter 22, verse 29. And the next word I that I'll be talking about is interact. effectively. So be at this conference ready to interact, ready to not just sit back and think, oh, well, what are they talking about? But be here ready to connect, be here ready to network with other people, be here to make sure you make mindful connections so that at the end of this conference, that you find that connection from all speakers, everyone who adds value to you in any way. Make sure that you stay connected. The next letter I'll be talking about is A. And my A, I have chosen to stand for activate. Take action. Everything you learn from this conference. That I'm here today is because I have also submitted myself to learning. I've also attended conferences like this, and I made sure that I implement the things that I learned from this conference. So I was not always like this. I was not always this confident. I was not always this bold, let alone pulling a conference together. But if I can do it, it means that you too can. That is why I'm encouraging you to bear this in mind. Next letter we're talking about is letter C, and that stands for cultivate. It means for you to nurture and to grow. You're a beautiful garden, dear woman. If you're here listening to me, tell yourself that you are a beautiful garden. And what happens to a beautiful garden? A garden is beautiful because someone is nurturing it. If a garden is left unattended to, weeds will grow and even choke the flowers to death. But when a garden is beautiful, it shows that someone is tending that garden. Someone is nurturing that garden. And you are a beautiful garden. You need to nurture yourself. So every word you hear from this conference, let it nurture you. Let it be oil to your lamp. Let it be oil to your lamp that will keep your lamp burning at the end of this conference. I want you to also know that as a garden, you need to understand the weather conditions, understand the environment that you find yourself in that will help you thrive. Understand that as a beautiful garden, nobody should just throw things into you. So it's time to begin to learn not to just listen to whatever, whatever people throw at you. There are things you need to shut your ears to. There are things you need to shut your eyes to. There are things you need to protect your mind from, because you were becoming intentional. You are intentional about cultivating your garden. So you need to guard your mental space from all the pollutants and the noise on the outside. Make sure you commit to this conference so that you can get the best out of it. And then I move to letter E, which stands for expect. I hope you were all expectant, and I know that you're all expectant. With all that's been happening in the WhatsApp group, I know we've all come here with expectations, right? So make sure that your desire to succeed in life is very strong. We have come ready for you. You need to match up with our energy in this conference. Make sure you are ready to match up with our energy, because we are here to give it to you back to back to back, everything that would help you truly emerge into that radiant woman that you are. When a farmer puts in work, planting and sowing, it's because they are expecting a bountiful harvest. So if you have made out time to register for this conference, to be on the lookout for when it will start, you have waited for this conference to go live, and you are here listening to me, I tell you, your expectations will be met even beyond, will meet beyond your expectations this conference. I believe you have come to this conference with your jazz, because if you come with spoon, you will fetch of value. But if you come with your jar, with your whatever you have, come with an open heart. And I know that at the end of the day, we will meet much more than you have expected from this conference. There is as much, so much that we human beings can offer you. But most importantly is the fact that we have a God that is backing us in this conference. And He will do nothing but ensure that you reap the value for your time, for your effort, for your attention that you are committed to this conference. And with this, I welcome you once again to the Radiant Women Conference 2024. Put in that fire emojis in the comment section if you are ready and it going. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so honored that you're here. I am honored to serve you in this capacity. And I pray that at the end of this conference, you will have so much positive experience to share with the world. Thank you.
Now, moving on to our distinguished guests lined up for today's event. It is my pleasure to introduce Oluchi Madu. Oluchi Madu is a member of the governing body of the Charles Lina Foundation, a non-profit organization she co-founded with her husband for the sole purpose of empowering youths to ascend the greatness ladder. In line with her passion for youth empowerment, she was appointed member of the Board of Trustees, Emmy Born Youth Foundation. Oluchi Madu is a sought-after talent maximization coach who helps individuals discover, develop, monetize, and maximize their talents and potential to create unique paths for successful and purposeful living. She is an efficient and highly organized professional with extensive experience in human resource management, an MSc from the University of Hull, England, and currently exploring the world of leadership at the London College of Professional Studies, United Kingdom. She is a seasoned public speaker and a writer who has authored 5 books: Divine Assets, The Seed of Greatness, Every Challenge is a Message, Talent, The Money Magnets, and The Lighted Candle. In her journey in the corporate world, she led remarkable milestones at Awesome Treasures Foundation, an African center for supply chain, where she exhibited her leadership and managerial skills. Drawing from her wealth of knowledge as a talent maximization coach, she founded an academy called Talent Maximization Academy, a platform where people are trained on how to discover, develop, monetize, and maximize their talents and potential to create the unique paths for successful and purposeful living. Oluchi also founded the Purpose for Children Academy, where children are guided through the process of self-discovery to embrace their identity and harmonize their strengths and uniqueness to create their unique paths for successful and purposeful living. Oluchi is married to Charles Madu, whom she called the Uncommon King, and they're blessed with 6 kingdom beauties. Now, moving on to our distinguished guests lined up for today's event. It is my pleasure to introduce Oluchi Madu. Oluchi Madu is a member of the governing body of the Charles Lina Foundation, a non-profit organization she co-founded with her husband for the sole purpose of empowering youths to ascend the greatness ladder. In line with her passion for youth empowerment, she was appointed member of the Board of Trustees, Emmy Born Youth Foundation. Oluchi Madu is a sought-after talent maximization coach who helps individuals discover, develop, monetize, and maximize their talents and potential to create unique paths for successful and purposeful living. She is an efficient and highly organized professional with extensive experience in human resource management, an MSc from the University of Hull, England, and currently exploring the world of leadership.
It's good to be in your midst this evening. My name is Oluchi Madu, as the bio correctly described, and I am very much elated and happy to be in your midst. I'll start by thanking the convener of this conference in the person of Chinwemma Essien. Thank you so much for this invitation. Thank you for finding your radiance and for also being so willing to share the way and the pathway to finding radiance with your fellow women. Thank you so much for spotting your lights and for not hiding that radiance in you. Thank you for transferring your light from what is it called? Thank you for taking your light to the lampstand, because nobody lights a lamp and hides it under the bushel. When the light is hidden under the bushel, nobody will see the light, and the purpose of the light will not be seen. But when the lamp is lighted and seated pretty on the lampstand, the purpose for which the light is created will be seen. In the course of introduction by Chinwenma, I heard something that struck a chord. It rang a bell in me. Whenever you see yourself in a conference like this, be at alert. Do not be distracted, because there is an uncommon word that is designed for you. Ensure that you grab that word when it comes to you. Sometime about a decade ago, I was in a conference just like this, but it was a physical conference. And a particular speaker made a comment that changed the trajectory of my life till today. And the comment was simple. The speaker said, there is something that you know how to do very well. Hidden in that thing that you know how to do very well is your treasure. Go home and find your treasure in that one thing that you know how to do very well. Coincidentally, I'll be speaking on a topic that says mining, refining, and positioning your gold for radiance. But before we start, I would like to share a very short story. I will share my story, and that story will also be something that will ignite a fire in you. While I was growing up, there is a persistent question I kept asking. And that question was, why is it there are people who are so rich and wealthy, they are so great, that they can afford whatever they want at the snap of their finger? And there are people who are so poor that even meeting up with the 3 square meal is a struggle. The answer I got growing up, I wasn't satisfied, because I am my daddy's girl, and I share a very deep bond with my daddy. Almost everything my father told me, I held it to heart. But this particular response, he told me that greatness and wealth comes as a result of destiny. So what it means is that there are people that are destined to be great. There are people that are destined to be wealthy. And if unfortunately you are not among these people that are destined to be wealthy and great, it means that you'll be on the other side of life. Honestly, I told myself, whatever positive that is attached to wealth and greatness, that is what I'm going for, because I don't want to see myself at the other side of life. Growing up, I found out that I had a writing ability, an exceptional one. Within meanings, I can weave words together and people will go, wow. So with my writing ability, I was writing casually for magazines, Christian magazines, newspapers, for no pay, because this was something that from time immemorial, it has always been my joy, a source of fulfillment. So I write for people, I write for organizations without pay. I also used to speak on different platforms. In our church, I'll be called upon, oh, there is something happening. Women are having their program, the youths are having their program. Please, can you prepare on this topic and come and speak to the audience? I'll gladly do that without pay. One other thing that has been so striking, even up to this date, because whenever I reflect on it, I can see how the dots were connected. I don't like hearing people say, I don't have a job. I am broke. I don't have money. I don't have money to buy things. It's like a trigger for me. Whenever I hear such thing, it triggers me. Because to me, I believe that At any point in life, as long as you are healthy and all your body parts are intact, there is something that you can always do to ensure that you don't find yourself in that part of, I'm looking for a job, I don't have food, I don't have money. So on this particular day, I went for a conference. In that conference, one of the speakers said, there is something special that you know how to do very well. Inside that something special is hidden your treasure. Go home, discover this, and find your treasure as well. I went home and I lost sleep. I was restless. I couldn't sleep. I was searching. What is this thing that I know how to do exceptionally well? Where is my treasure? But the surprising thing was that I was busy looking for everywhere for this thing that I knew how to do very well, exceptionally well. I couldn't pay attention to the things that I was supposed to pay attention to. So after that weekend, I went to work on a Monday morning. In my office, there was an event that took place over the weekend, and I was supposed to send a report to my boss because she traveled out of the country. So my normal me, I came to work on Monday, sent the report to my boss. She traveled to Spain. After work, I went to the house doing my usual thing. At exactly few minutes to 8, I received a call. I saw my boss's number buzzing on my phone. I was like, why is this woman calling me at this time of the night? Either ways, I picked the phone, and the voice, I'm a very sensitive person. When I picked the call, the voice from the other end suggested a peaceful conversation. So I relaxed. The first question she asked me was, Oluchi, what again did you say you studied in the university? I said, I studied pure and industrial chemistry, ma'am. She said, what were you looking for in chemistry lab? Why were you missing why were you missing chemicals? Why were you mixing chemicals when you are supposed to be mixing words for the word to be impacted? I answered her again. She said, you write so well. The report you sent to me, I read it with every sense of delight. It gladdens my heart. Oluchi, have you ever given a thought of writing a book? You should be writing a book. You should be mining your writing ability. I would suggest that you give writing a very deep thought. And that was it. After that conversation, if the level of restlessness I was having the previous night was 70%, that night I had 99.9999 restlessness rates. I was thinking, what is this treasure that I heard over the weekend that I was supposed to find? Now my boss is telling me I write so well. I should write a book. I knew I was going to write a book one day, someday, somehow, but I didn't see it coming that fast. So I had a conversation with myself and started writing a book. I also have a conversation with my husband that I was writing a book. After 1 week, I called him that I was done with the book. For those of us who are Christians, if you know the story of how Sarah laughed when she dropped ahead that she was going to have a son. That was the kind of laugh my husband let out when I said that I had finished writing a book under 1 week. She said, girl, this is book writing, not essay competition. Because while I was in primary school, I won an essay competition in Imo State. So we laughed over it, and I gave him the manuscript, the written one, a written manuscript. He went through the first page, the second page, his countenance changed. He said, wow, I've always known you are an incredible being, but I never knew it was this much. You have just created a tool that every family needs. Indeed, this is a divine asset. And that was how I wrote my first book. I don't know what your expectations are when you filled a form to attend the Radiant Women Conference. I don't know what your expectations are, but what I want to tell you today is that there is a special word specifically meant for you. Ensure that you pick that word. And when you pick it, I also heard Chinwenma recounting last year, she attended a conference and the word dropped in her spirit, and that was light. Today, we can see how that light has illuminated her path and everything about her. I don't know what the word, I don't know the word that has been specifically meant for you, designed for you. Do not be distracted. Once you get that word, act on it. I'm stressing on this word, act. Act on it. Because the successful people we see today, the thing that sets the successful people apart from those that are just there are the actions they took, not necessarily only what they know. Because there are people that knew, they heard, and at the end of the day, they did not do anything with it. But whatever word you are picking today, ensure that you implement, act on your word. So with that, we go over to today's topic, which says, mining, refining, and positioning your gold for radiance. And we will be talking to women. That means ourselves. I deliberately do not want to share slide because slide distracts people. And whatever we're going to talk about today is a serious business. I wouldn't want distraction. So who exactly is a woman? I call a woman a co-creator. I call a woman a builder. I call a woman a nurturer. I call a woman a multiplier. I call a woman a great being who is housing priceless treasures. The one baffling flaw about a woman is that she easily forgets who she is. One baffling thing about a woman is that she easily forgets who she is. You are expected to mine your gold. Not only that you will mine it, you will position yourself. You will refine and position yourself. But you can only mine, refine, and position your gold if you know and understand that you have a gold. How about people that do not know that they have a gold? You know, when we are talking about gold, I want you to bring your mind closer. Bring your mind back home. We are not talking about gold mine that is seated in some countries. We are talking about gold that is lying, sitting pretty inside of you, lying dormant that you do not even know and understand that you have. That is the gold we are talking about. But how can you mine your gold if you don't know that you have a gold? And how can you even know your gold if you do not know who you are? I will repeat that. How can you mine a gold if you don't know that you have a gold? And how can you know your gold if you do not know yourself? And that leads us to the next question. There are 5 most important life questions every human being that wants to make impact, do exploits, record some level of greatness, and create wealth in this world must answer. And I'm going to be sharing those 5 questions. The first question is, who am I? Wherever you are now, ask yourself, who exactly am I? Who am I? Mind you, when I say, who are you? Or who am I? I'm referring to you now. And I'm also asking myself, who am I? You ask yourself, who are you? This question is not, I am Jegede Obi from Nigeria. I am Brian Smith from England. I am this person from Kenya. I am so person from Japan. No, that is not what it means. This question is beyond your name and where you come from. The unfortunate thing, or the fortunate thing here, is that you cannot answer this question correctly if you don't know your source. If you listened attentively when Chinwenma was making an opening speech, she made mention of source. she made mention of source. The Spirit of God is one. Immediately she said source, I smiled. So who is your source? Where exactly are you from? I'm not talking of your country, your state, your local government. Who is your source? Because if you don't know your source, you won't know exactly who you are. Your source will make you to understand the characteristics that you have. Your source will make you to understand exactly who you are. Taking me, for instance, I am a child of God. God is my source. And the God I'm talking about is God of limitless possibilities. Everything about him is possibilities. There is nothing like impossibility when you talk about the God Almighty, the God of the gods. And this same God calls me a God. So what it means is that I have the DNA of God. It means that whatever God can do, he has already empowered me also to do it, because he said that he has given me power to go into the world, to be fruitful, to multiply, to replenish, to dominate. But what do I multiply if I don't know what I have? You know, whenever this particular part of the Bible is shared, some people, their mind centers on going into the world to bear children. Yes, that's part of the being fruitful, but that's not all that is there. There are so many things deposited in us. There are so many treasures deposited in us. There are so many inherent gifts deposited in us that we are expected to let bear. We are expected to let loose. And we are expected to duplicate them, to multiply them, to bring them to limelight, to bring them out so that they will solve the solutions they are meant to be. They are created for. They are designed for. There are so many of us now carrying hospitals in us. There are so many of us now carrying, maybe one of us seated here, maybe housing the cure for cancer. But this person does not know that he's carrying something, a treasure. So many of us are seated with treasure in this conference, but they do not know, simply because they've not taken time to understand the DNA of their source. Because if I say, this is my daughter, we have a daughter called Angel. If Angel goes out and somebody asks Angel, who are you? Angel should be able to say, I am so person. This person is my mother and this person is my father. And immediately she says those words, the person will say, somebody that knows me and not the father will say, oh, I can see the resemblance. You talk like your mother, you walk like your father, you act like your father. When this person is saying all these things, he or she is seeing the characteristics of me and my husband in our child. So as I am speaking today, even if you have been saying I'm a child of God, God is my source, my case is different, and all those things we say, they are beautiful, they are fantastic. But if you only utter those words, but you don't know the meaning, you don't leave them out, I am asking you today, who is your source? Can God's DNA be found in your lifestyle? Can God's DNA be found in all the things you do? God has said, go into the world, fruitful, multiply. Is there something you are creating? Remember, I said that women are co-creators, just like every other human being. But is there something you are creating? Is there a treasure in you that you have let loose? Have you been able to discover God's DNA in your lifestyle? This is a personal question that you will start answering all by yourself. Then the third question is, why am I here on earth? This question that is as simple as anything you can think of is the reason why so many people are in total chaos now. This is the reason why so many people are moving about aimlessly. It's the same reason why some people all of a sudden